Hello, hypothetical audience, because we're not quite sure if this will be live or not. It won't be live, it's being recorded. But anyway, people who might be watching or might not be watching it, my favourite Schrodinger's audience. We're going to play a game of a game I've designed called How Do Aliens Do It? Basically, it is about a group of alien teenagers in an information scarce society who've gathered together to desperately try to understand how people do it, because no one's telling them, and these teenage aliens really need to find out. It's like, this is either late in development, or it might even be final version, depending how well tonight goes. But hopefully it'll teach people the call of the game and get the vibe, and also introduce some very lovely people, which is what I'm going to do next. Everyone, can you please introduce yourselves? Ava, going around clockwise. Ava, who are you? And also, what's your favourite fictional alien?
Oh dear, no, you're giving me questions that I haven't.
Icebreaking.
Hi. Yeah, I'm Ava Foxfort. I am a girl of many bows of many arrows. Strings. I have a lot of strings to my bow.
That's the spirit.
And my favourite fictional alien. Oh, my answers suddenly seem really basic.
Judgment-free zone.
How do we define alien at the end of the day? My favourite fictional alien is like the one that I'm imagining, like watching this right now, right, and trying to figure out about human society from seeing this particular enactment and being like, oh wow, what is this strange ritual where they sit in squares and tell stories to each other about what does this word alien mean, and what's it? So now there's this alien where, like, how do aliens do it? But we're the aliens, and they're wondering that.
How do we do
that
it?
Wasn't it? That was a weird answer.
I like that. Excellent. Ella, who are you, and what's your favourite alien?
I mean, I'm completely in love with Ava's alien now, but so hi, I'm Ella, my pronouns are she, her, I'm queer on the internet, I make weird art, mostly audio stuff, well, my favorite alien is probably Garnet from Steven Universe, because she's made of love, and she means so much to me.
So my brain immediately went down but literally ADHDing right there. As I went down a long series of running jokes involving Steven Universe with one of my friends, and involving me completely mishearing the Steven Universe theme tune. And I'm trying to remember. I can't remember. It's like me merging two of the gems into one character.
I mean, that is a thing that happens quite a lot.
Oh, I know. I understand the giant woman aspect to the show.
I also like giant women separately, not a Steven Universe thing. But you know.
Excellent. Anyway, further on the circle, we have Max. Max, tell us about yourself, and what is your favourite alien?
Good Lord. Hi, I'm Max. He, they. Heavy on the he, but I'm working on it. I do things. Mostly, but one day maybe I'll have a website. My favorite fictional alien is, I don't want to say it, but it's Garrick from Deep Space Nine, because he's hot.
Yes. Also, how did I forget Jadzia? Sorry.
I wanted to say Jadzia, but honestly, when I close my eyes, in my heart of hearts, I know what I am.
I had to make up a fictional alien, because for a brief moment, the only alien I could think of was Alf, and like I just didn't want to be that person. I didn't want that to be on the favorite alien table at all. No offense to Alf, but I don't rep you.
I'm Kieran Gillen, mainly he, him. I designed this. I'm a writer. I have done. I write comics, I write games, I sleep occasionally. And of course, I'm a parent of a 2-and-a-bit-year-old, and I have a lot of exposure to new sorts of aliens. So there's lots of cool aliens I could mention, but instead I'm going to go for my classic teenage alien. The H.R. Geiger's Alien. I was very big into Alien. I had an Alien poster above my bed of Alien bursting through a wall. I don't know what that says. I know what it says. I was a teenager trying to shock people, but still.
Did it blend in well with your wall so that it actually looked convincingly like an alien coming out, or was it just?
Yeah, even my bedroom wasn't that bad. I mean, there's lots of like secretions and like teenage stuff. It's horrible.
Did it not like give you? I would get nightmares if I had an alien poster over my bed. Did it never like scare you? Like if you were like late at night, like.
I was from Stafford. I was used for the kind of the horrors of existence.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that.
Right, anyway, how do aliens do it? Before we get on camera, we did the basic setup. We did our safety tool briefing. We'll be playing with the X card, and we established lines and veils. One of the things about this game is, I mean, lines and veils are basically the things we will either be only alluding to in the game, or in the case of veil, or in the case of lines, or in the case of veils, we just won't be having it all. And of course, one of the things about this game is the fact you're basically making up a species as you go along. You've got some really weird kind of lines and veils. You suddenly realise that, oh no, we don't want to be a parasite, you know. And as much as I love HR Geiger, we don't want to recreate the alien. Anyway, we've done all that before coming aboard. And this is the basic briefing. We are all teenage alien friends, and we're not sure how sex works in our species due to our society having not told us. How rude! But we're going to puzzle it out. All the facts about our society and our species are established as we play. If someone says it, it's true, unless someone X cards it. Are there any facts we want to establish in advance? There's two as standard. One, we reproduce. Two, sex is part of that. I'm going to stress the subtext here. As standard, the species has only a single sex which all characters share. In other words, we're going to add other aspects to the game and develop it. As basic is. Because anytime I play this, I've tried adding it, and I don't think any playtester has not needed anything else for people to generate. They'll make it themselves. Anyway, pause there. Is there anyone other facts we want to establish in advance? Has anyone got one?
Okay, good. Cool. I want to go. Every word I was about to say was really deeply inappropriate.
Yeah, I know.
Go right in there.
I mean, I was going to say, I was waiting for Max to say that they want to raw dog it. So, like,
that's what I was going to say.
We might also think that's mainly what I was thinking as well, which is a bit. We have already telepathy mind meld, which is exciting. Anyway, in terms of setting, where we are, our characters, we've all gathered together in a private, secret place to try and figure out what the rest of the species aren't telling us. Most of the game we'll be speaking as our aliens, but if we want to speak out of character, we raise a hand to signal it. So if I'm really worried about my janitorial alien units. Okay, janitorial's a silly name. I'm not sure why I chose that. That's our structure. Cool.
Whereas if I was to say I'm really worried about my janitorial units, that would be deeply inappropriate.
I would be confused. Okay. The next bit we're going to do, if people go to the tab called Principles on the thing. We're going to go around clockwise. Basically, we're going to read each of these principles in turns. And this basically, I want everyone to sort of think about, like, these are the core reasons why we're playing this game, to get everyone on the same page. So each will read one and we go into the next clockwise. So I'll start on aliens and go down. As aliens, we must be curious. The world is complicated and we know nothing about it. All information is both petrifying and amazing. Ava.
Be naive. All have no idea about the veracity of anything. Maybe even the weirdest things are true. Even when being cynical, you just can't be sure.
Be vulnerable. You are all taking an emotional risk with this conversation. Act like it. These are your confused secrets.
Be kind. Children aren't always, but the children we are playing are.
Okay. As players, we must be playful and collaborative. How could these aliens work? Be excited by each other's choices and ideas. Build on them.
Be open-minded. Nothing is true until established in the game. You don't need to assume anything.
Be aware. Think of queerness versus normativity, personal preference versus universality. Your aliens will likely realize things are more complicated than they initially believe. even if they don't, the players should.
Be bold. Don't be afraid to make stuff up. We will make a world in the stories. Sex is the entry point, but we are creating a society.
Excellent, and there are principles. Okay, this is now an optional rule, except we're playing online, and the designer strongly recommends we do this. And I think that designer knows what he's talking about. We're going to all design our alien names. There's an alien name generator on that tab. If you roll D6 for your first syllable, D6 for your second syllable, and generate what you're called.
I love a roll table. I love a roll table.
You can decide how to pronounce it too. What I would like people to do is basically, if you see the 3 dots by your name, you can rename your character. I am Cullet, or Cully, I think, actually. Which is the least alien possible name I generated for my speeches, but here I am.
I'm Luex.
I am Queen.
Queen, did you say?
I am Queen.
Queen.
I am Queen.
Cool.
I
Can
am
everyone?
neat.
Sorry. Neat. Great. Can everyone actually? Does everyone know how to edit their name?
It's just gonna do that.
Cool.
Whoop. Oh my god, Max.
Meeks.
That is what I rolled.
The dice say what the dice say. Who are we to resist them?
Actually, I rolled the exact same thing as Kieran, and then I had to roll again.
Wow. Ella, can I ask a favour and reverse your name? So
Sure.
I just basically the way when I'm actually it's slightly different because no one's actually running this game. I'm sort of facilitating. But if I'm actually running a game, if characters have their names the wrong way round when I'm GMing, like the whole thing falls apart. Like it's
like a house of cards. I feel you.
Right, Meeks, Luex, Queen, and Cully. Okay. The next thing we do is we write down our difficulty. Our difficulty is the number of players, and we have 4 players. The difficulty is 4, which I've written down on this handy little sheet we're sharing.
And we don't need to adjust that for the difficulty of those players. Is that okay?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We're all highly easy. We're all very delightful people. We're charming and witty and very well. So I refuse to.
I'm very happy that you clarified that by easy you mean that we're delightful, because you sure did say.
Now, yeah. I will say, anyone watching this kind of level of banter isn't required in your game. this level of general sort of snot. You don't need to try to do this at home. You can. I'm not going to stop you.
I'm trying to get all of the sass out of my
Leave it to the
system.
Again, is that really what we want to be calling ourselves in this context?
Maybe. That's just what you're
I
deciding.
think we've got to get an amount of sass out now because, like, in a minute, I'm going to put on my like vulnerable teenager face,
And we're going to
Yeah.
get really
at that
sad.
point, it's going to be so different.
Yeah. Actually, we have to actually reach that point when we're about to start doing it. If everyone sees the character keeper, depending on the size of your screen, it depends whether you'll be able to have to skip between 2 tabs for move or just look at the weird things tab. What going to happen is I'm going to start with the dice, and then basically I'm going to just start following the moves, and then we'll start basically by generating a fundamental weird thing, which we'll fill in on the lines in the clue counter. Which will probably have a different name because clue counter's a silly name, but the clue matrix that's even worse. That's like pretentious.
Yeah, and I feel like it should be something like cool, right? Because like, you know, baby aliens talking about sex, like it's exciting. Like they want to, like, you know, it's exciting and scary. So it should be like, you know, like it should be like the great secrets or the grand matrix or the like something like
grand secrets of the doing it or something. Actually, that might be it. The grand secrets of doing it. We've got that.
I feel like it's just an it matrix, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it matrix. It question mark.
it's question mark.
Shrug emoji. Okay, I start with dice. So basically, we all end up generating clues, and we do this by drawing cards. To start with, everyone just as a fundamental one, and then we'll kind of do other ones. If anyone's got questions, raise your hand, and we can talk out of character. Though a lot of the stuff can just be, in an ideal way of running this game, the players aren't actually talking about the rules; they're just doing it because it comes to a point of like people realizing what it means. But asking questions is kind of good, and I'll probably in this playthrough, I'll probably be doing more than I normally would just to explain the rules to people who are watching, instead of make it appear that we've had a kind of moment we've all decided to be alien teenagers for no discernible reason. Let's go. Okay, everyone take a deep breath. Anything else I want to say before we start playing? Ready to rock and roll?
Everyone in advance.
Team, go team.
Before we start playing.
Okay, everyone. Thank you for coming to my, place. I'm sure no one's around. We'll be okay. I'm gonna have to restart. I've completely failed to actually do a screenshot of all the weird things table cuts off before all the weird things are actually there.
I thought this was just for me, so I hadn't raised this because I was just panicking about what I was going to do if I drew like approximately a third of the cards.
I was so looking forward to not having to crap. I was so looking forward to not having to edit this.
Oh,
Because
sorry.
I'm very lazy.
Well, we need to realign the ovipositors anyway, so
Yeah, that'd be shameful. Like, we can't just have ovipositors wandering around like that.
I think that we all need to stop.
Using the word ovipositor.
I mean, it
You know
might
what?
get rolled.
I was gonna say we're gonna draw a card. It is gonna come up. It's just like my luck.
We're gonna all just cheer for the word ovipositor, and people think we're just like,
I mean, do you not already do that whenever it comes up in conversation?
Ovipositor!
Look, there's like one particular science fiction short story, and it's like really famous, and my ex was really obsessed with it. It's the whole thing. Anyway.
I want to find out more, but I don't want to find it out right now.
Really famous part is what's getting to me because it's like up until then I had a very clear idea of what you were talking about, and then that idea just went out of the window.
No, because it's like I think it's by the writer who wrote The Lottery as well. Like it's one of those like really like kind of iconic, dark, weird kind of 80s feminist sci-fi short story things. Like and basically the premise is like there's these kind of like centipede female aliens. They reproduce by planting their eggs in males of other species, and there's this like human guy, and she's like gonna consume him, and it's all very metaphor about feminism. And my ex like lectured in science fiction literature, so she was really into that short story. Feminist science fiction literature.
That is good. I'm just going to edit the table. I've just had a bright idea. I've had a bright idea, maybe. Let's go.
Oh, we're live editing. Live on Schrodinger's recording.
Yeah. Well, we've already done it. Oops.
We've already done it.
I've just broken it.
Reveals how we do it.
Spoilers. I've just destroyed everything.
This is a roller coaster of emotions. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm like this particular bit of software is coming.
I think all you did was move a title a little bit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. This is called, what's it called? Fundamental. This one was called Societal, and this one's called Underground. So I've just thought about.
I'm pretty sure I saw the Fundamental Societal Underground play in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't think of a city that's grotty enough to have that particular punk scene.
But what I've actually done here is I've done the screen so it looks better.
Yay!
So like we can put cards in the right place. So if I script up this, look at that. Okay.
Nice.
Let's go back into the game. Edit space. Okay. This is obviously it's been very like. Just don't tell anyone about this because like we shouldn't be talking about this. We all know this, but at which point I drawn a card, looked up on the table, and kept going. Okay. It was really weird. Like, because my kind of clone sibling, like they're a bit more developed because they've been pumped full of like ultra drugs. Like, they're developing very fast with their ultra drugs. And they were sort of talking about like I saw them practicing their telekinesis, and I was asking why, and they said I want to be really good when I do it. I don't want my telekinesis to be bad, and I was like, kind of, okay, whatever, dude. Like, sort of, whatever, dude, in quotation marks, presumably means something different in this world, but like, kind of, yeah, like, so I know it must involve because if he wants to, if he wants to be good in telekinesis, it must involve telekinesis somehow. And I thought that was just for moving like seeds around and like pot plants and stuff. What about you, Queen?
I mean, but I don't want to be moved around right now. But well, the only thing that I saw was like I saw some pictures, and it was in an art book. It was in an art book, but I don't think I was supposed to be looking at it because I got weird feelings. And there was your shell, right? The outer shell, not the inner one. Like,
oh yeah.
There was something about the way it looked, the way it shone in these pictures that was not. I'd not seen that before, but I think they were doing it, and it's definitely, yeah, the shell's a big deal. I don't know.
Really? I thought the shell was just protecting us from meteorites.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what I thought.
But like when you do telekinesis, your shell kind of like is like it like vibrates a little bit.
Yeah.
And then it gives you that like kind of like that funny feeling if you do it for a really long time, like you feel kind of. But then you don't do it for a long time because normally you only need to use telekinesis a little bit to like pick things up and stuff.
Yeah, move pot plants around. Yeah.
I've never used
my telekinesis. That must be how you discovered it, Luex. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know anything? What about you?
Well, let me think. Ella's screen is going weird. Okay. Oh no. Okay. 10. Okay, so you know how sometimes if you let your shell like vibrate too much when you're using your telekinesis, you can accidentally change shape. Like, I don't know if you've ever done that, but I turned into a wibble wobble and it was really silly. And then my mum was like, you shouldn't be a wibble wobble because they have to be in the water, and if you're outside of the water you're going to suffocate. And then I changed back and it was all fine. But also, I think maybe I heard some kids on the playground saying that sometimes you can change shape to like shapes that people want you to be, or shapes that they're like excited about. Like maybe
like pot plants.
No, it's more like
But no, like... have you done it?
No, because I'm not very good at shape changing. Because you're not supposed to start doing it
I've
until
not.
we get.
I've never telekinesis that.
No, because it's a strenuous process, but I think you know how like some fish and stuff can change from being like can make themselves able to have babies. I think you can change your shape to change like what you look like if you want.
Oh.
But you have to be really good at it because like I said, I shape changed by accident, but I didn't make myself a wibble wobble on purpose.
No. All the only shape changing I've done is to kind of make myself harder in this kind of like, or fly. There's one like if
These
it's not,
shells definitely weren't harder.
that's interesting. That's really interesting. I haven't thought about that.
They definitely weren't harder.
What about you, Meeks?
Yeah.
What about you, Meeks? What do you know?
Well, I can't even. I know that some people can do the shape changing stuff, but well, I can't do that yet. But I mean my parents say that it's fine, but I can't do it yet. I heard at school, but I mean it might not be true. You know how under your shell, sometimes when it moves really fast, it feels like something wants to come out of it. Well, I saw somebody had a drawing of the shell and it was open and there were wings coming out.
I've shape
And I've
changed
never
wings.
seen it. I've never seen it outside of the drawing. But then when I make my shell move really fast, it feels like there's something in there.
I always thought I was gonna pee. Like, you mean if I just relax and let it go, it's like wait, well, it feels like it's like building up, and then you're worried that if you let it go, you're gonna embarrass yourself in front of everyone because you should like hold it in. Cully, did you do it? Did you?
I didn't realize. I mean, I've only went and flown by myself. Is that kind of shape changing because all the asteroids had stopped and there were no pot plants around, and they were just sort of like, and it just sort of split. My wings sort of splurged out. That was the shape changing for me, and I didn't realize it was being bad. Oh no,
it's not bad. It's not bad. If it just might be a bit what it is.
No, man, we can be very mature and grown up, and mature grown-ups would say that part of your body is not bad, it's just your body. It's bad what you do with it. So
I flew?
I don't know if that's involved or not. Maybe
I don't know.
is.
We've got
How did it feel when you flew?
Well, it was very exciting. I just saw that there was no asteroids around.
Did it make you feel like it? Like, did it make you feel like tingly?
I don't know. Maybe I'm missing because I was just doing because this is the thing that I was flying and had shape changed to be like that, but all the telekinesis stuff, and I suppose my outer shell had moved to do it, but I haven't done very much of telekinesis, so it's maybe because that's definitely like what's the word? It was like I wasn't getting there. Like I was just flying and soared around. It was like I was sort of missing something. I felt, and it was really exciting and it was scary because I got so high and I got a bit scared, and then I sort of ended up like floating down to the earth, and then I became a small little hard shell and hit the ground, and I smashed a pot plant, and then I didn't mention it.
Wait, are you the person who smashed my mama's rabombies?
Shh.
I got in so much trouble for that, Cully.
I was so.
I got in so much trouble.
I promise I'll make it up to you.
Well, okay then.
Okay.
Well,
okay,
you can help me figure out how to fly.
Okay.
Maybe.
Was it like? Were you just like when Has anyone ever used their telekinesis on them? On oh god, has anyone used their telekinesis on themselves?
You're not supposed to use telekinesis on people.
But it wasn't that sort of flying, right? Like,
Oh no, it was big.
you were flapping. You were flapping.
Oh, I was flapping. Yeah.
Okay.
Not telekinesis. That's
Yeah. So the wings are there. Yeah.
yeah.
You know, actually,
Even my clone brother, I don't think has strong enough telekinesis to pick themselves up.
do you know? Actually, I do. I wonder if so. I don't know if this is connected, but I did once catch my clone sibling doing some graffiti, like on a table with a laser pencil, and it was 1-800 "Are you flapping?" Maybe that's.
Raise my hand, have a little pause here while everyone laughs and loses control because that's the funniest thing I've heard ever. 1-800 "Are you flapping?" I was flapping.
Is that what that means, though? I thought that was about something else.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, I just thought that they did it because it was rude. So, because they're very rude. And Mum says they have a confrontational issue, like complex.
Luex, did you like when you wibble wobbled?
Mm-hmm.
What was that okay? What
Well, it was fine. You know, I think that there are like, there are shape changes that are to do with doing it, and then there are shape changes that are just shape changes. And I think the shape change I did was just a regular one. Like it was basically just like a little oblong aquatic creature that doesn't really have a nervous system and was going to suffocate. But like what I heard people on the playground talking about was like that you can change into things like us. Like you make yourself like the most attractive person. Like you could make yourself look like, Zombarelli. The movie star. So like
I could look like Zombarelli.
Yeah, and you can make your shell like look that shiny and everything. Like if you get really good at it. And apparently sometimes people do that to like make it more. I don't know.
So like why do we think it works?
Have
like,
to?
I don't know. I don't think so. It seems silly because I feel like, Zombarelli is really, that definitely makes me feel tingly, but I don't want to necessarily do it with Zombarelli.
Being that shiny is not it's quite scary. Because
what if you got blemished? What if there was
you
scuff
attract meteorites?
Whoa. They do like shiny objects.
I was like, it's dangerous. Like, I was in this. I'm trying to think how this could work because we've got telekinesis, we have our shell, our shape changing, and our wings. So we've got kind of. It must be up there then.
It sounds like because you didn't do it when you went up, but how high did you go? Maybe you just have to get high enough. It sounds like this all makes sense, right? This is it. You telekinesis so hard that your outer shell goes soft and your wings you shapeshift your inside. So I didn't even know you could shapeshift inside. I thought it was just the shell. So I'm a bit overwhelmed by that, but. If you telekinesis hard enough, you go through a wibble wobble and your shell softens and your wings come out and you fly really high. And if you fly high enough, you do it. And if you don't, you haven't.
Well, Cully said that something felt like it was missing. Yeah. And also, I don't think we need the pot plants involved. Well, maybe. I think my mama likes pot plants involved, but I don't think you
explain a lot if there's so many pot plants around here. It would explain a lot if they were to do with sex. Like,
well, yeah, but like, what do you think?
I thought it was for photosynthesis.
What do you think, Mix? I mean, I was thinking like maybe telekinesis, sort of when we're up in the some of us are flying up and we're blobbed, and the telekinesis is the thing that lets us sort of blob together a bit. And like when we've kind of shape changed into flying,
blob together,
some kind of blob, or at least a blob transfer. Like you wouldn't, because telekinesis you can move a very small bit, accurate,
But
what if it's like you're supposed to? You fly all the way up there, And then once you're up there, there's two people, but then you can make the blob be like only one person while it happens.
Oh yeah, that involves a lot of shape changing.
Would that be why your shell's so soft? Like, what if you
Because then you can
touch
put the
shell?
shells together.
Yeah, so it doesn't like stop someone getting closer. So you could, ooh, so they could like touch the undershell. Oh, that's intense. Ooh, my undershell feels shivery.
That's it. I always like, yeah. I mean, I always make my shape changing. I can do is make myself really, really harder and harder. So like, it's like protecting. Like it's like staying away from all of that. That's interesting. Like my janitorial units have entirely encouraged me to make my shell really, really hard. Like, yeah.
But
That's
that seems like kind of like a bad thing because
it does.
Well, do you want to like, you know, maybe one day do it with another person?
I don't know. I like to fly. Maybe that, you know, flying is
But if
nice.
you're flying and you're softer, you're not going to get more meteorites.
I presume you just don't do it when there's meteorites around. I mean, I wouldn't because I would get distracted by the meteorites. I kind of have a one-track mind with meteorites. I've got to admit it. I'm kind of ashamed by that.
No, that's
Anyway.
okay.
Okay. I think we know how
I
it
like
works.
it when you tell us about them.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's like you're a meteorologist.
Yeah, and also I like how they shine off people's shells. Like I remember that projection when Zombarella, was it Zombarella? Sorry, Zombarella's like carapace reflected in the light of the meteorite storm, all those iridescent colors. It was amazing. That was so cool.
So pretty.
I think we know how it works though. I think we fly in the air, wibbly wobbly, telekinesis blob, and then we probably get our shells back to stop us like hurting. That's definitely how it works. Okay, I'll stop for a second to your explanation. We go to this page, and basically I roll 2 dice, and we add the number of clues we've used, which is all 4, and we subtract the difficulty, which is also 4. So we roll 2d6, and that's the total. And I'm clicking completely the wrong screen. And our total's 11, which is really high. So now we actually go to a table, and this generates what kind of a next thing in our society. And there's 3, which are the fundamental things, which are the kind of the thing we're presently talking, as in real basic nuts and bolts societal stuff, which is kind of normally like what's attractive and unattractive in society. And then there's underground stuff, as in stuff which is explicitly not talked about. And these are subcategorized, and the person who selects this ability or rolls this up gets to pick, which is exactly what I'm going to do now. Six of diamonds. Let me just briefly re-pick my ability. Let me just add this to the sheets for everybody. Sorry about this, I'm just moving stuff around, which I will definitely cut in a second. I feel I haven't updated this list somehow. But maybe it's because that one. Okay, skipping back in. But the thing I don't understand, though, is there's this there's a clone uncle of mine, and it was all very weird, and it's kind of like, and they just kind of just sort of disowned him, like they disowned them, this clone uncle, and it's like, and they wouldn't tell me why that no one was going to talk to him, because they sent him out to the, to the far reaches where the meteor strikes high a lot, and it's because and they wouldn't tell me why, but like they threw out a load of stuff from his aqueous chamber beneath the ground, and it was a load of conceptual mathematics.
You're not supposed to say that. That's a bad word. Shh.
I know. It doesn't add up. Like there's the it's just like there was like loads of diagrams and stuff involving equations.
You were saying bad words.
I know. And it's like, and they burnt it all, and they've, it was awful, and they haven't seen him. He's away, and he's like, I don't know, doing stuff with the MATHE. I can't spell mathematics, but that word.
oh, yeah. Well,
But what's wrong with MATH?
What is MA?
It's a bad word. My janitorial, my mama says it's a bad word. Like, and you're not supposed to say it. It's really bad. It's very naughty. You get in a lot of trouble.
Well, I don't want to not say something just because it's bad without knowing what it is, because then otherwise, like, how am I supposed to know when I'm saying it or when I'm not saying it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why it's bad. She gets really angry, and it's like, it's the same kind of like mad that she gets if we do something that's like gonna hurt ourselves. Like, when you're in your aqueous chamber, if you're in there too long and then you start like feeling kind of spongy and like you're dissolving, like, and she gets really mad because she's like, it's not safe for your shell and it does erode it. But it's bad for you. But also, what if we do it wrong and then we get sent away to get meteorites hitting us forever and we never get to come back and all of our stuff gets set on fire? Like, I didn't know that there's a way to do it that wrong. Like, are there going to be people, like, grading us? Is there someone else there when you do it? Is there, like, a police officer who's, like...
Yeah, I'm not even sure I want to be there when I do it.
No, well, I mean, you don't have to.
I know. But, like, I don't even understand what's wrong with it, what you even be doing with it, and why you'd be, like... When I think about MATH, even not conceptual stuff, but the normal MATH, it like it makes my head hurt, and I'm not very good at it either. I guess my parents have never encouraged me to be into MATH either.
What do you?
I thought it was just supposed to stay in the computers.
Do you think they get computers involved?
I mean, computers wouldn't fly.
But I guess if you just wanted to like absorb something into your soft outer shell, it could be anything. Oh, that
Computers
feels.
do have shells.
Oh, do you have the telekinesis up with you?
Computers do have shells. Yeah. Like conceptual shells. Like they have a shell and we have a shell.
Yeah.
And you could connect them.
Conceptually,
yeah.
But wouldn't that? But if you connected your brain to like a computer brain, that feels like it would make your brain go. That sounds like it would be like really intense. Like if you had all of the numbers in a computer in your head whilst you were doing it.
That's a lot. I mean, they do like.
I kind of feel that way sometimes, though. Don't you sometimes feel that way?
What, like
there's numbers in your head, and they're buzzing around, It's like when you telekinesis too long, you get that buzzing, but it's just in your head.
Huh.
Maybe that's just me.
It's not just you. It's like it's okay. Like we don't like math. MATH is fine.
You said the word again.
It's not. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. It's just they're like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a computer.
Okay.
Well, maybe
I'll pause for a second. Actually, just to interrupt because of rule explanation. At that point, the dice were being passed over to Ava. As in other words, Ava now chooses when we next roll for the when we decided for the theory. So in other words, this and the conversation will get to, and then it'll pass on as well. So that's a rule explanation, really, because we'd probably forgotten because we're too busy enjoying our conceptual math, like queer metaphor, which I'm really into.
But maybe some people feel good about numbers, and maybe that's why they do it. Like, I don't think I've ever felt like that about numbers, but I've never really thought about it before because my mum is so scared of numbers.
Yeah, my janitorials are always they're very physical in the physical realm, so it's not like there's much room for like conceptual, not even MATH, not conceptual anything. There's no conceptual theology, no conceptual geography, like no conceptual muffin. It's all about doing stuff.
Well, computers are in charge of theology.
Yeah. That'll explain a lot.
What if there's things in your head and those are what you blob out? Can you blob out the things in your head?
I don't think so. It's like if someone tells you not to think of a turquoise weequawk, then immediately the first thing you think of is a turquoise weequawk.
Why a turquoise weequawk?
Well, I don't know. It's just like a really big, obvious thing because of all of the tentacles.
It's very hard to forget the tentacles.
Yeah.
I can't stop thinking about the turquoise weequawk.
And like the rainbow horns.
Yeah. I used to count the rainbow horns when I was going to sleep.
There's so many of them.
Yeah. But to be fair, I'm not good at MATH, so like I get to 7 and I'm asleep.
Wow.
I feel sorry for my character. My character's increasingly dense.
I think your character just has issues with numbers.
No, but I think we've got like forbidden numbers here at this point, which is.
No, I think generally we've pretty much defined like queerness as math, as the or computer studies. Computer studies is queer in this universe, which I think is great. So, Ava, you're about to ask something.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to check. What are my options as the person with the dice? Does that mean that I should be getting ready to draw another card and do a thing?
What you say is like the two options are either we say you either go you don't think we've got enough to have a theory. In which case you draw another card and you pass the dice, or alternatively you do think you've got enough to have another theory, and you roll the dice and see how that goes. And there's that in some way. In my cases, I think we do. We've got an idea why people are weird about math, or why math is taboo, and so we can just say that, and our original fundamental theory is still kind of the same, and it's been added to slightly. So basically, restate what our current state of knowledge is. And then we roll the dice to see where we are, and it'll be +1. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we know that we're going up in the air. We're blobbing out with other people on our own.
With other people.
Yeah. And shiny shelled ones.
And we shouldn't bring maths with us.
Sorry,
MATH.
But some people like MATH.
But some people like it, and I've got it in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. 5. What does a 5 mean?
A 5 on the list, it means we have got something really fundamental. Actually, that's actually a 6 because you've got +1.
Yeah.
So that's 6, which is still 6 minus. So we've forgotten something fundamental, as in a major body part. We've not or thing with so. Yeah.
We're missing something, right? I've got you. So let's get fundamental. So I think we've missed something. I think that there's something that we're not thinking about when we're saying this. There's got to be something else because this is what I remembered with that drawing. I didn't want to say it. I wasn't ready to say it. But I think I'm glad. Thanks for being kind about the number head thing because I was worried. I was a bit scared to say that, so I didn't. But everyone's making me feel so safe that I so when I saw these pictures in this art book, it wasn't just that they made it soft on the outer shell. It's that it wasn't just soft. There was fluid all over the shells, like so much fluid that like had these rainbow loops and like these gorgeous little patterns all running away through the whole thing. So it wasn't like a fluid I'd seen, but it was really special. It was really gorgeous. I don't know if it's gorgeous. I really liked it. It looked really pretty to me. but it wasn't like skin normally is. It wasn't like the underneath normally is, or like the shell normally is. It was some different, all of the colours, every colour, in these little spirals of fluid.
Wow.
Just
That's
all over them. It was so pretty.
But that's why it feels like you're gonna pee. I think, like, because it feels like there's some kind of liquid
But
building
it's not
up.
pee. It's not pee.
It's not.
Pee
It's a
isn't
special
that colour.
fluid.
Yeah.
Everyone
Well,
knows
it's coming from a different place.
pee's
Like
turquoise. We all know this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously,
It wasn't turquoise. It was so many more colours than turquoise.
But that's why it feels like there's like a pressure building up, and like you have to like hold it back.
Yeah.
What do you think, Meeks?
Yeah, Meeks.
I mean, I think it sounds pretty, but I've never felt like I was going to pee and then it wasn't pee. So,
well, maybe it's just that's how I feel it, because I find it confusing. I don't know. I don't like it when my body does things that I'm not expecting. And so if it feels like my body's going to do something that I don't think I want it to do, then I just stop doing that thing and then change, because
that's what I was taught too.
Well, yeah, and like it could make a mess, and it could be embarrassing, and I don't know. I don't want to make a mess and be embarrassed.
My clone sibling with the telekinesis, one of the things they do is like they were going down by the actual, when towards the edge of this sort of the area, and just using the pools of the liquid pools, and just making big shapes of them. Like little like tracing shapes in the air. It's really very, very intricate and delicate, and they work on it really hard. And like they're really practicing controlling their fluid, a special fluid with telekinesis. And no, not special fluid, but like a fluid. And that makes me think, well, they're really interested in controlling fluids, and that's interesting.
And Karina, you said that the fluid was all over them, because earlier Kelly was like, maybe use the telekinesis to like guide one thing into another thing. But then I was thinking that would be kind of sad, because I just feel like if I wanted to do it with someone, then I wouldn't want to just like telekinesis from a distance and put one tiny little thing there, because that just feels kind of boring. I want to like touch them. But what if when you do the telekinesis, what you do is you like pull all of your liquid like over them, and you like kind of drag it over them and stuff, and it's all like wrapped around them, and like you like Kelly's clone sibling, you like guide it in like little shapes and stuff, because that sounds pretty cool.
Maybe you can feel through the liquid
all over it.
Yeah. Maybe you can feel through the liquid and it expands your brain, like conceptually. There's a word we're coming back to. Like Meeks?
well, you could. I was wondering if maybe you could feel what they were feeling, and they were feeling that you were feeling what they were feeling, and so you were feeling what they were feeling, that you were feeling that they were feeling.
What I was feeling.
You were feeling.
Whoa, like you could braid the liquids together, like when you run water out of like a can or something, and then you could both feel. That would be pretty great.
When you're flying,
I'd really like to understand other people better.
Yeah,
that would be really lovely. I never know whether everyone feels the same things as I feel.
Oh, well, I don't think you need to do it to know that. Like, also, we're friends, and we can talk about stuff.
Talking is talking, and it's not always. I find it quite hard to put the feelings in it sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes we can do like drawings. Like you said, that art was really beautiful for you.
It was so lovely.
So maybe you could try and do like drawings to help you show other people what you think. Like you can also do it with other people, but I feel like you can't do it with everyone. So then with some people, maybe there are other ways to like show people how you feel if it feels hard to explain.
This is a weird thing this might be a funny thing to say, and Queen, I don't like. So sorry if this is weird, but like occasionally, like I've been shape changing my carapace into like pictures of people and like layer, and just like trying to get bits. And there's an amazing bit when you were like walking past the meteor stream, past all those pot plants, when I was like, oh, that was really nice. So I was sort of shape changing that to create a kind of engraving and moving in and out. And it's just really nice. And it's like, and occasionally that is feeling. And I was told not to do that by my parents because it's like carapaces are protecting you from meteor storms. But like, you know, the shape changing is like showing how people affect us allows us to show how they affect us, I think. I think that is kind of heavy and I feel a bit weird and my head hurts a bit now.
I think that sounds really nice. Maybe I should do more shape changing.
I like it. I think all my stuff involves no fluid, and that's make you think that's what I'm missing. I'm all about this hardness and changing, and it's all just like very like that. I need more.
Well, it sounds like it's. Is it ever like sore? Because it feels like the fluid is supposed to make it a little bit easier and comfier, and if it's just like kind of crick crack, then it sounds like it will be sore.
I'm gonna have to think about this. Yeah. I think we've actually got this. I think we've got special fluid integrated here. Like, so if Ella wants to roll the dice,
Aye.
okay. Or you can set up and explain the question.
Right. Okay. So the question is, how does the fluid integrate into fundamentally how we do it? And we've decided that, okay, so telekinesis and wings are involved, as is shape changing. And the idea is we fly up into the air and we smoosh together. But actually, maybe there's a special fluid that is involved in the participants that lets them kind of feel each other and their feelings like more acutely whilst doing it. So I'll roll the dice.
And occasionally there's a connection to conceptual math as well, definitely. Like if so for some people, but then yeah.
I think I got a 7. Had a little bit of trouble figuring out how to roll a dice, but I think I got a 7.
Right, 7 is currently got +2, so we go to 9, which means it is a societal weird thing, which are basically things that aliens could figure out by looking around the world and seeing what's held in esteem or not. And the 3 options you'll have is societally attractive, societally unattractive, or illegal. So,
gosh, okay. Right, let's have a see. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, but I feel like we've been talking about all of this kind of like physical, real world, touching stuff, touching each other, changing our shells and stuff. But when you look at like movies and books, then whenever someone's gonna do it, then they have really like intense dreams. So I thought the dreams were supposed to be involved because like that's like a whole big thing, right? Like, and there was that opera that was like the Dream Ballet, and like it was really controversial, and then they closed it down because it was too like scandalous. But like there's also dreams all the time, like often, you know, like when there's adverts for like shell paste to like polish your shell, and then it's always like someone just waking up from a dream and they're like, ooh, I'm feeling good, and then they want to polish their shell because they want to look nice. Like I feel like the dreams should be involved here somehow. Like I feel like what the grown-ups care about is dreams.
Yeah.
I thought the dreams were a metaphor. Like in the movies. I mean, maybe that's why the teachers were kind of weird to me when I said that it was like, oh, like a metaphor about like how society doesn't know to separate like fake things from reality, and they were like, well, it is reality, and then we had a big fight, but it would make more sense maybe if it wasn't.
Meeks, did you say that to the teachers?
When sometimes during the lunch hour, I go talk with the teachers instead of eating lunch with everybody else because like I enjoy talking to them, and we have normal grown-up conversations together where they treat me like I am maybe like cool and I know how to talk about stuff.
Okay, well, first of all, you're very brave for saying that to the teachers, but second, if you ever want to have lunch and a conversation, you can always talk to us. We can be cool and have grown-up conversations like teachers do.
Well, yeah, but it's like sometimes I want So maybe I have questions for the teachers, and I don't want to ask them during the class, and then maybe I can ask them at lunch or second lunch, which we
But
have.
you're really clever, Meeks. You know, that's the thing about you. You're proper clever, and it's difficult.
Well, it's just that I have questions and I ask them, and then I get answers. Except for the metaphor thing, which nobody will explain to me.
Dreams. People do like dreams, though. Sorry, Queen.
I'm just wondering if, like, so when I dream, I'm just dreaming, like, I feel like it's just the things that I felt that day just get turned into shapes and pictures and metaphors and ideas. But what if you're feeling stuff with someone else? Would you really see that, or would that be the dream? Would that be the dream bit? You'd be mixing your feelings and your dreams together.
Well, maybe the next time you dreamed, you'd dream of them, or you'd share dreams with them. Like the two of you, it would be like mixing two flavors together, and then you would maybe. But I've seen my mama like put like powder in her like aqueous chamber before she sleeps. And I think that makes her have different dreams. Like you can get packets, like grown-ups use them quite a lot, you know? So they have nice dreams.
I mean, Zombarella, you know, I remember my janitorial saying that, you know, Zombarella is a total dream.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, and I hear other people say they've got big dreams. So maybe people who are better at having dreams are like better at it because they're better to transfer, like, you know, the sensitivity, special fluid stuff. Maybe that's the kind of, like, people who have big dreams or dream a lot are better at it.
Maybe.
But do you reckon you dream while you're doing it?
I don't know.
Or just after? And maybe dreams in our aqueous chambers are different from the dreams
afterwards.
During.
Yeah, maybe afterwards. It's not at the moment. It's also afterwards.
I think the dreams in the aqueous chambers are like imagining doing it. Because, you know, like, you can get those, like, little sachets at the supermarket and they have pictures of Zombarella on them. And then you put them in your aqueous chamber and then you have a dream.
Oh, I thought I wasn't allowed to look at those sachets.
I don't think you're supposed to. But my mum buys quite a lot of them and I help her with the groceries.
Yeah. My clone sibling has several like used wrappers they keep beneath the shell reservoir.
I've heard that sometimes people like have like collection like albums to see if they've collected like every like movie star. Yeah.
That what that is?
Yeah. I know.
I found a folder
really
and they're all full. No, they're not being used. They've just kept them. They've just kept a load of sachets.
Well, why would you keep it but not use it?
I think.
Well, it's collectibles. It's like special, and then maybe in like a few years, it's going to be super valuable, and you can sell it.
I don't know, like if
Bleeblay.
I had a really tasty, well, I mean, I guess people do make lots of zing-zongs on Bleeblay, but if I had a really tasty candy, I would just want to eat it.
I really would. That's what I would do. So I may have. I've just had an awful idea. Like, okay, these are powders. Yes, we put in the bath there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what powders are?
Mm-hmm.
Things that are dried.
Mm-hmm.
You know, special fluids. What happens when the special fluid dries?
Oh, that's so gross!
Don't look at your little bags of.
I'm just going.
Oh, that's so gross.
That can't be right.
Well, I'm not sure how I feel about the commodification of the fluids. I don't know enough about the fluid to say for sure, but I feel like it feels like a breach of some sort of body autonomy or maybe privacy or something.
But I guess if you make a lot of it, like, you know, it would be one thing if we only made like a tiny little amount, but if we make like a bucket load, I guess it must be really
It was
easy
all
to
over her whole
harvest.
body. And you know how big Umbrella is.
Yeah. Well, she's like
Yeah.
a giant woman.
Yeah. I saw her climb up the
Covered in the
mountainside.
liquid. But does that mean you can do it with Umbrella or sort of do it with Umbrella
Maybe.
if you've got the Umbrella?
But it feels like that's like, I don't know. I feel like if I was gonna do it, I would want to do it with fresh fluid. Not like.
I agree. I think we can all agree. I would like, but people seem to like the powders. Maybe it's a different thing. Maybe it's like it isn't just it's also that. And
if you're not dreaming while you're doing the thing, and it's the dreams that people are getting.
Yeah, well, it's like because I guess it's like the leftover is like the feelings. Like, what is a feeling that you experience when you're asleep, if not a dream? But also, it feels like what Meeks was saying about how people can't tell the difference between real things and fake things. Like, we're not allowed to change our shells because of the asteroids, so we're not allowed to really feel our bodies, so we have to just imagine and pretend instead of actually like doing these things that everyone says we're not allowed to do because it's dirty and gross and embarrassing. But actually, maybe it's the thing that we need so that we feel connection to other people.
You're also clever too.
Well, I don't know about that.
Yeah, you are. You showed me all of your books, and in them they had all the pictures, and you knew what every single picture was without even looking.
Well,
and I didn't know.
The pictures are pretty.
I think we probably have enough to like make a theory. I believe the dice are with Max. So do you want to lay down the rough theory what we have so far? Or okay, Meeks, where are we? What do you reckon? Do you think we know this now?
Which shells are involved? You can make them harder, and you can make them shake, and you can make them softer. And there's shape changing, and there's flying, and there's blobbing out with people. And you're not supposed to do the thing that Lex doesn't like people saying, but I think saying it is fine. I think saying it isn't bad. I think it's the doing it that's bad. But I'm not going to say it out of respect. Okay.
Thank you.
And then there's also you get really wet everywhere, and it's really pretty, and rainbows and spirals.
People like dreams.
And then there's the dreams, and there's the dreams, and then there's the powders. And I don't know how I feel about the powders.
Yeah. It definitely seems dreams are important in lots of ways in the after effects. I think this is it. This is probably how it all works now. So roll 2d6 and add 3 because we've used all 7 of our clues, and our difficulty is 4.
It's math. Is that 11? Is that 11 total?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 11. In which case we've got underground again. It's an underground thing. So you pick a weird thing. So draw a card, which is either shameful, unethical, kinky, taboo, obscure, or fringe.
Just checking. Right. Okay, I just got really scared that I misremembered what the suit name was because it's different in the language that I usually speak, and so I googled it instead of asking because that's just what I do with my life. Sorry about that, everybody.
No.
Well, okay. Underground or taboo? Well, you have to pinky promise me, all of you, that you will not tell anybody, okay, circle of trust, that I said this. But that's what it looks like. Just different pinkies are different for everybody in this world. Everybody it's different.
Pinkies pinky swear means everyone has to do a different gesture.
Yeah. Obviously.
Because you can't make
pinky
a
is
circle of trust so big.
Exactly. Exactly. And also Pinky, of course, it isn't the part of our body. Pinky, of course, is our special shape-changing goddess. Who takes many forms. The goddess Pinky. I think you're fine.
I love Pinky the goddess. Well, so I had this friend, and we're not friends anymore, and it's not because of this, it's because of something else, but and that friend, when I went to their place, and they had this computer, and they had access to some of the channels that you're not supposed to watch, and I said that we should maybe I don't know, call someone, but I watched it a little bit. And you know how there's you said you would circle of trust. Come on. And there was the liquid everywhere. And it was okay. Everybody was fine. It's gonna sound really scary, but everyone was okay. But the other person who wasn't all of the liquid everywhere was with the telekinesis. There was making it be on fire. But everyone was okay.
But wouldn't that feel
really
just
weird
like really
music
intense
playing.
if someone put fire on your liquid?
Well, it looked really intense.
And then was the music like scary music or like?
No, it was like in the Zombie movies when it's really like supposed to be like a bit more raunchy, and then there's like the fade to black, and it was that kind of music.
Oh. Like that one time when she started shaking her shell when she was going into the casino.
That was a really cool scene, though.
But
that's not the point. We're in the Pinky of circle.
I just
fire, but wouldn't that hurt?
In the cell, in my parent genitorial's sort of private cell, I was looking one day, and there was much more inflammable like fire lighters than I was expect. I was wondering why were they trying to set so many fires in their bedroom. I didn't understand. My parents have got a.
Your genitorials are into fire. They set their liquids on fire.
No, they don't.
They set the MATH on fire.
That's way too much.
That's way too much. They're judging your uncle.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they're setting it on fire.
That's true. That's mean.
And it's okay to set it on fire.
It must be different. Like I think it's different.
There's some things that are okay and some things that are not okay. And also, Meek said that he saw that on the channel you're not supposed to watch. So maybe it's like not okay. Maybe it's like a little bit naughty.
I think it's strange how they keep some stuff secret, isn't it? It's just weird how we are, right?
They've got a lot of secrets, but like also they're selling sachets in just anywhere.
Which I think is weirder than the fire thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like because the fire thing is real, at least.
It's so weird. Like some stuff is everywhere, as Meek says, and some stuff is a secret, and some stuff just ain't allowed. Like the MATH has to go over there, and here we have, sachets. It's just not fair.
Yeah.
I don't like it if people are kicking out people for doing MATH, but then they're saying fire for themselves with it as well.
It feels hippopotamus. No.
Hyperbolic. Hyperspeed. Hypersphere. Icosphere.
It feels mean.
It feels mean.
Yeah. And like they were, it's not very nice. I kind of think the fire thing maybe if it doesn't hurt that much, it sounds kind of interesting.
It was on the fluid, right? It didn't go into people's.
So you'd only imagine you were feeling it. You wouldn't actually feel it. Like it wouldn't hurt you. It would just feel like
dream burn.
Yeah. Like it would feel like that. Kind of sounds kind of interesting. Like, have you never looked at a fire and kind of been like, I wonder what that would feel like? Like, well, maybe that's just me.
No, all the time.
I just think I'm going to go home and accidentally set fire to myself.
No. I think you have to be careful about it.
I'm not good at careful. You seen the pot plant?
Yes, that's the problem. You could hurt yourself. Like, the underside of our shell is very sensitive.
Okay, I think about this.
And you could hurt yourself really badly. Like, maybe there's like, well, I guess if you're not allowed to do it, it's probably not easy to find. But maybe there's like instructions somewhere, like on how to like do it carefully. Like, if people are on TV, then they're normally professionals. So like, if people can do it professionally, then there's probably like, you can probably get a good grade in setting fire to your special liquid.
You are very clever.
I want to get a good grade.
Yeah.
In setting fire to my special liquid.
And that's what this episode is called. Okay, I guess we know it. Like, so we have our wings. We go up in these, we go up there. We come soft. There's fluids go everywhere. It's telepathic contact, possibly dried dream stuff afterwards. Like, some people really like setting fire to the fire, but it's kind of people don't talk about it that much. But there's also like doing it with machines as well is somehow not accepted as normal, or very bad. They think it's very bad. I suppose that's like it's not with a person. Is that the thing? I don't understand. But either way, I think we understand all of it, and I think we definitely know how it works. Okay, what's happened now is roll 9 plus 4 is
13.
13. 13 is enough to basically, if we had everything filled in, it would end the game. However, we haven't got everything filled in. I've also realised it's playtest. I'm going to reduce both societal and underground's minimum down to 2 instead of 3 each. So what actually happens now is, so instead of ending the game, we look at the blue areas which are not filled in yet, which of course is, we've got 2 in underground, which fills in all the areas in underground, and 5 in fundamental, which fills in all the areas in fundamental, but there is 1 area left in societal. So it's a societal thing. Right, put my hand down. But what I don't understand, like all that's true, like the going up and the dreaming and the weird and my parents' fire thing, which I don't want to think about. My parents setting fire to themselves in the room and fluid everywhere. It's a lot to think about there. But what I don't get is why what happened to my uncle? My other Dream uncle, not the math guy. They put him in the orbital meteor, the meteor in a stable orbit around here where there's only pot plants. He's up there for a while because he smelled bad. And I asked why, and he said, we can't talk to you about that. And that makes me think that smelling bad must be like a problem to do with it.
But lots of things make you smell bad. Like, one time I had an eye infection in 6 of my eyes, and then all of them had this like weird kind of gunk coming out of them, and that smelled really, really bad. But like, are they gonna put me on a meteor if I get sick?
We don't know.
Very bad,
Your silence is not encouraging. I need to never get sick ever again.
Yeah.
I would never put you on an asteroid.
I must say, the smell was very bad. In that kind of, maybe we should have.
I knew it was bad.
Yeah.
But maybe you know
at this
it
point,
was
someone,
that
can I
bad.
step in for a second? This is a good time for someone to signal you meanie rule. So anyone's just my character was slightly mean then, so I felt also mean.
You meanie!
I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lux. What? Sorry, I'm just scared. Like, what happened to my Dreen uncle? And like makes me kind of scared of smells like that. And it's like joke. I mean, I don't understand it either. And like you had a load of eye smell, and it did smell very bad, but it wasn't your fault. And I don't know what the uncle bad smell got him up in the orbital meteor. It's horrible. I'm sorry. I was very scared. I don't know what I was thinking.
That's okay. But it's normal. We have bodies. They make smells. We can't control the smells.
Why are some smells illegal? That's the way.
Well, that's stupid because that's just a way to punish people for things they can't control.
Do people think we can control it? Are they that silly?
Or maybe it's just like if you have like maybe if you're born with certain things, they just want to be mean to you because you're different.
They were never like that. They're uncomfortable with them, because I know my genitals were very into like pumice stoning or outer shells and all the shape changing to keep yourself nice and clean and shiny. So it's like if there's a certain, they just don't want it around.
But some people just have more rough shells than other people. Not everyone has a shiny shell.
I suppose this is the upside. I just realised, like, we talked about looks. You started to talk about shape changes to be more pretty for people.
Mm-hmm.
And smelling bad is the complete opposite of that, isn't it? It's being unpretty for people, and it's not being that. And they like punishing people for not being nose pretty.
And I guess you can't change how you smell when you shape change because the smell just stays around. You can't shape change something that isn't part of you, and the smell is outside of you.
That's horrible.
I think that we should send a message to your uncle and tell him that we think he's nice and it's not his fault.
I wonder if you could fly up there if I got good enough at flying.
Well, maybe, but that sounds very dangerous. Kelly, you do a lot of very dangerous things. And I know that maybe I'm a little bit too cautious, but I think maybe you're not cautious enough.
They tell me I don't understand the odds, and they're right. I don't understand the odds at all.
No,
that's the thing.
There are so many meteors. You want to
Maybe
fly?
It's not okay that we don't know about MATH. Because I feel like that might help.
Well, that's what we have computers for.
It's what we have Queen for. Queen knows more about MATH than I do.
Well, but
everyone's cleverer than me.
In a
I can't
way.
ask the computer about everything you do, Kelly.
Kelly, it's
sorry,
not
that
like
was
that.
mean.
You're the only. Yeah,
you meanie.
Yeah.
I don't think that I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kelly. I was saying that I don't think I can do that, but I think that was an expression of impatience, and I would always work out anything to keep you safe.
Thank you.
I think it's really important that we keep our friends safe and look after them, even if there's things that they don't understand.
I know. Sorry. You're so kind all the time, so I quite like that you were kind of a bit there. It's a bit like you're very kind, and it's like occasionally it's nice to see you have fun, Queen.
Yeah. But also, Kelly, you're silly. You said that everyone's smarter than you, and that's really silly. You're the only one of us who's actually managed to fly. You're really good at different kinds of stuff.
You've got closer to it than any of us.
Yeah.
You know more about meteors than any of us, so. Mm-hmm.
Which might mean that actually that helps your odds of visiting your uncle.
Like if you
you'd be able to find a way through.
Have to go up.
If you can figure out some way of working out where the meteors are going, then you might be able to fly through them, and it would be easier to get to the asteroid that orbits.
Yeah, but I still don't think we should necessarily encourage this course of action, though. I think we can probably send a letter.
I don't want people to go to jail for being smelly.
I don't want people to go to jail, but I also don't want Kelly to get smashed by meteors when they're flying through the.
That's why we'll look after them. We'll work together.
We could have a protest. I like the protest plan.
We could all get really smelly on purpose, and then we could march together and say that it's okay to be smelly on purpose.
Whoa.
Even when you're not sick.
The system stinks.
Maybe.
Whoa.
Cully, you're so smart.
It's a very limited form of intelligence. You put these words, it's word math. You put words together in funny orders. That's not real math.
WORDMATH.
Okay, that's good. I think the dice are now with Ava, I believe. So I think we've worked out like this. Ava, run us down because it's +5 that we might actually hit it this time.
I'm just like quite excited about the fact that at this point we're really close to just doing some direct action.
This is going to segue to a Blaze in the Dark campaign as we kind of go to take down this corrupt regime.
It's just kind of a classic thing of this game group that we managed to like start with like we're having a sleepover and end with we're having a revolution.
Excellent.
At this point, it's like we're stinky, we're queer, and we're gonna burn it all down. Yeah, that tracks.
In a sexy way.
If we can get the fire, some of the fire artists that you found, maybe they'd be up for helping too.
Yeah. Do you think Zombarella would be support our movement? I mean, I know that Zombarella is very clean and shiny, but like, if Zombarella supported us,
I don't think Zombarella wants to be sold in little pieces all around all of the super.
No, it's super weird. I feel
it's
like
really creepy.
Maybe we could be like, what if you were stinky for a week? Maybe people would leave you alone.
That's really clever. See?
Oh, make Zombarella stinky again.
Yeah.
I'm rolling some dice. So wait, I've got it. We've got it all, haven't we? We do the telekinesis to thin out and soften our outer shell. Once we've thinned out, we can push out our wings and we can fly right up into the sky where we change shape. And we change shapes into things we find pretty and we find pretty in people and we think that people will want. And then we wibble wobble so hard that the special fluid comes out and coats us. And then it smears around and smears together with other people if we're doing it with other people. And then we get to feel the feelings of each other. And some people save that special fluid and sell it. And some people set it on fire and feel all over their special fluid this heat and this power. And this is so pretty. And then afterwards you get to have dreams where you're sharing your dreams with the other people you've been with. Maybe that's why you can't do it with computers, because you'd be dreaming with a computer and you'd have numbers stuck in your head all your life. But maybe that's okay. And maybe it's okay for people to smell afterwards and things to be difficult. And maybe we need to go and save Cully's uncle with the fire people and Zombarella in solidarity with each other. I'm going to roll the dice again because I'm going to do it after I said all of that rather than before it, because that feels wrong.
Still,
but I got 11 plus 5.
Takes us to 13. That's the end. So yeah, that's right. I think we know everything now. So all right, I think we've
figured out sex and how to fucking smash the
sex and revolution are two things. At this point, we now segue to the epilogue, where each of our characters get a chance to answer 2 questions. So I'm going to go round in turn. The first question is, how right do you think our theory is? So how right does Queen think the theory is, Ava?
Queen thinks this is it. Queen like has put all of it together and like was so doubting it right at the beginning. And even though not a lot has really changed apart from us seeing more of how it reflects in society, I think that I'm so looking forward to doing it. And I am going to set things on fire, like properly on fire. And I'm going to feel people. And I'm so looking forward to getting to share that with as many people as possible in a way that lets people be whatever shape they want to be. And it isn't about what other people's perceptions are. And I don't want my fluid to be left behind, because I want to know the people who are dreaming my dreams with me. And that's really important to me. So yeah. And yeah, but I'm really excited and I think I'm so right.
Fantastic. Ella, how right does Lux think we are?
So Lux thinks we're mostly right. She thinks that maybe the shape-changing to look how the other person wants you to look is more optional, and she kind of wants to find someone that she can do it with, where she doesn't feel like she has to like shape change that much. Like she can stay in her same shape mostly and just like soften her outer shell. She's also really into the fire thing. She doesn't really like. She like. I think Meeks brought that up and like unopened a door for Luix.
Yes. Carter got the Luix in hospital. We were just like,
and then
we
like
did it all. You could just see us all get awakened by the idea of being able to set it off.
I like the idea that like the parents hold a PTA meeting with Kylie's parents of like, you need to hide this stuff better. Like the kids clearly found this.
That's amazing. Meeks, sorry, Max. What does Meeks think?
Max thinks all of this is spot on, and really doesn't kind of care about most of it, and is like, yeah, okay, whatever. It'll come up if it'll come up. Can we get these people out of the meteorites? Sorry. Oh yeah, there's fluids. Oh, there's shells. Oh, there's stuff. There's a guy up there, you guys.
A smelly man.
Can we get him out? There's another one in exile. And this doesn't feel right. Meeks has kind of bypassed the whole sex thing and has gone right into the like, sorry. And just because someone's a little stinky, sorry, we're selling dried fluids of people so that other people can have dreams of them without them knowing about it. And it's like, fine, that's okay. It's okay, but being a little stinky gets you sent to the moon. That's just where I land.
When I rolled that, I rolled smelly, and the three options being socially attractive, socially unattractive, or illegal. And I was like, well, both socially attractive and socially unattractive are a bit boring. So I thought I'll go for illegal. But sort of like, what the fuck have we invented?
The sky.
But BO was just letting you go to the moon. But it could be like, yeah, anyway. But sorry, Cully. I think Cully's not sure they're right about most things. But what Cully is sure they're right about is it's just not right. Like smelly person, computer person. Like this is, people have been quite close to, Cully has been kicked off, and it's upsetting. And so he's quite like Queen seems to be very interested in math. That kind of like, no, I want to protect Queen. We'll have Queen's back. And these are my friends. And my parents are being hypocrites a bit weird. Like that kind of like that bugs me quite hard. But I'm definitely gonna be set some stuff on fire in this kind of way, in this kind of sneaking in, and I've got my clone sibling who clearly knows some stuff. So I might imagine like sitting down with him doing the war. So what about the fire? That person looks like they're covered in fire, or like whatever embarrassing thing. But that's why that's the sort of So I've sort of segued into the next question actually, but that's what I'm not sure, but I know what I know we're right about is how societally nonsense it is. So actually, I'll answer the second question first, and we can go reverse order. The second question is, how will this information change your life, and how do you act? No. So I've sort of said that a bit in terms of protecting people, because I think I'm the one who's least. I feel Cully's the least sexually awakened of all the four characters. Into like the stuff they can do, but it's all very abstract to Cully at the moment. So it's more like he's like that kind of being interested in what's around him. I think that's where Cully is, which is good because you three seem like really good influences on Cully. Also, what I would say is I imagine we get all the way from not discovering what the pot plants are about. They're everywhere. Something's going on with the pot plants. I'm sure.
They're for the smell. They're for the smell. Clearly, I also feel like there was also kind of an interesting thing with Kelly of like I don't know, like I got a vibe that like maybe he might like figure himself out to be asexual or on the asexual spectrum, because there was a while where you were being like, yeah. It's like, is it just like they're early, or is it kind of they just have no interest? And that's kind of like that's stuff I think Cully will figure themselves out about. Anyway, sorry, Max, how is this going to change your life? Like, you've done a bit of this as well.
Yeah, Meeks is an activist now. It's like I feel like no, I can't say. I feel like Meeks is definitely going to grow up into someone who does very like political art and very like sexual political art, and kind of blends the two, as in like, I will only have sex if it's political.
And smelly.
The glasses stay on during sex, babe. We are doing this is theory. It's like, yeah. So I think it's definitely going to be that, and is probably gonna figure out that some of the stuff that we figured out wasn't right at all. But yeah, no, he's definitely gonna have very strong opinions about stuff in the future. Like, oh, sorry, like you guys are still like a really annoying phase in college where it's like, huh, you guys are still opening your shells. Okay, a little, you know, heteronormative.
Yeah, I'm only with 4 computers at the moment. Oh, there's a polycule joke there somewhere, and I can't make it. My brain's failing. Anyway,
I was
I'd say it's the polymath.
yeah, polymath. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
There
Right
we go. You freed us.
Ella, how will this change Lux's life?
Well, I think that she was like a little bit of a mama's girl before, and I think now, like, I think, like, among all of us, she has like quite a positive relationship with her janitorial figure, but like it is going to lead her to kind of be like, hey, how come you're not telling me stuff? How come people are weird about this stuff? And I like to think that her mama's going to be pretty understanding about it, but might have kind of a learning process. But I think Luax is going to be much more deviant than maybe she would have been if she didn't have this friend group. Like, I think maybe like if she didn't have this friend group, she would have stayed within like quite a conservative norm much longer, just because she has a positive relationship with her mama, and her mama is like fairly middle of the road. So I think this has made her like expand her horizons much more than she might otherwise have done, and that means that maybe she's also gonna like help her mama expand her horizons, go on some dates instead of just kind of buy-in fluids from the supermarket.
Perfect. And finally, Ava, how is this going to change Queen's life?
So I think it's going to change quite a lot, because I think there was some stuff there where like Queen was really cagey about talking about family members or whether they live with anybody, and I think that there was some stuff about, like, my imagine is that the Queen's actually been being raised by the computers rather than by actual people, and like, so that was kind of underlying some of this stuff of like having too many numbers in the head, without ever having like seeing any way to kind of like bring that in. I have that kind of vague idea, and I imagine that like this has been a really like connective thing with the body in general, just the idea of feeling like sharing feelings with friends was surprisingly big, and so she's now like just so excited to be able to connect with other people, that is probably going to go through a slightly off the rails phase of just trying to connect with too many people, everyone, all at a time, just to try and get some of that like friend-to-friend contact. And I hope that the people that they find are as caring as this community that they found. And yeah, and I hope for that, because I think that also this is fed into this idea of like real anger at how society's organized, and all of this stuff is just really pointless shame. And I think being quite angry about that and feeling like a desire to get out of that through abiding shame herself. So I think the next few years might be quite messy, but hopefully really positive. And yeah, hopefully, yeah, make a bit of a difference. Probably not getting into like the politics in quite the same way as Meeks, but or like more as an aesthetic, like always there, but yeah, more trying to work it out in herself.
I think they're 4 nice kids, in a different way.
It's really nice that they're nice kids. I don't even remember if I saw it last time. The be kind as a principle of being like, you are 4 kids that are trying to look after each other. Yeah, sorry, I'm jumping into talking about stuff or talking about the game, but yeah, like that and the You Meanie thing. The You Meanie thing, that was like the best That was so good to, in character, just like call someone out and just immediately be like, oh, and that really like I really loved the politics of that. The way it was just like, it really quickly like set us back to being kind about each other. In a way that then really fleshed out the world and really established the politics of the characters. It was really good. That's really neat.
It's a late addition to the game, and I was really happy because it was inspired by a couple of rules I've seen, which is actually not doing the same thing in any way whatsoever, but as a different way of using a safety tool in game.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a side point. Like, anyway, actually, what happens is, since we've gone to the questions, what the actual rules say, then we sort of segue into it's like just decompression and talking casual chat. As in, because we talk about the game, so we've sort of segued into actually what's kind of what the game wants to happen. I want the game to not hard cut and everyone leave. I want the game sort of just now we're going to talk about it because it's like I think what I think if anyone watches this and we put this online, it's like it's a funny game, but there's some serious shit here. You know what I mean? Like, and we're like, it's that filter, and I find it interesting. Anyway, is there anything since we're stop recording? Is anyone wants to say on the recording before I stop?
Just that I think like for people who see this game and are like, like when I tell people about this game, what I say is like, it sounds like it's a joke and a punchline, but then you play it and it's the best world building game you've ever played. Like, I think it's really great as a world building game, and like if you play the game, be open to letting it expand into like having implications and rules and things to say about the society that the kids are in and like kind of the parameters of their world and stuff. Like, we're joking about it leading to revolution, but that's because we're a bunch of queers, so we immediately start imagining like, well, where are the limits going to be, and how are kids going to feel left out or alienated, and what are they going to think is unfair or unjust? Often children see things that are unjust where adults maybe have learned not to. So just like let yourself make it as big as you want it to be. Yeah.
I think that's a really nice counterpart to the you meanie and be kind rules, right? In that I think it's quite interesting, and maybe this is about us as queer revolutionaries of our own. But like, I also think there's a tension between the fact that it's asking you to be kind, and then it wants you to talk about things that are illegal, taboo, and unattractive, and all of these kind of things. Like, by definition, you end up creating a world that needs a bit of revolution. And being kind to the people who are around you involves doing that, and like that's really lovely, like as a kind of like section of thesis for a game. I think that's really beautiful. When we first played this game, like you were like not sure, maybe the first playtest, in fact, maybe the second, but very, very close to the beginning. And that kind of when we walked away and talked about it afterwards in terms of like working out how to actually maintain tone whilst also having the content, and that's the weird challenge of the game is in it becomes really ugly if the players are ugly, as in like, so you've got to approach it in loving arms in those kind of ways, because you're so much having to have faith in the people around you and trying to create a structure where people do that. That's tricky. I mean like it's impossible because it's got to be played with open hearts. It's the buy-in of it. Anyway, so Max, like, anything we'd like to add or?
Oh, I was just going to add to I mean, you have to be sincere. Like, jokes are good. I mean, I'm a jokes first, everything else second person. But in all life, but especially in this game, just because of the nature of the tensions between the different parts of it and maintaining tone, I think you have to be willing to be sincere first, and then funny second.
Because it will be funny. Right, it's impossible for it not to be funny because of the fact that you're bringing whatever you're bringing into it, and you're just kind of pulling random concepts and trying to make them fit into the structure. Like, you're inherently going to make each other laugh, but kind of keeping that laughter out of character is really key to that tonal stuff. I just love the sincerity of it. I love how easy it is to step into the mode. I love the fact that like, just like leaning a little bit forward and opening your eyes and like biting your teeth, biting your lip a little bit, just immediately puts you into character. Or for me, that really, really like sells the character as like, oh, I need to be a bit nervous about this. And I think yeah, I just love it. Just love it.
Yeah.
I think it's
And so
really special
if I was
little
actually
game.
going to, if I was giving people a tip to play the game, is like have the camera, because my camera's slightly farther back. Like being slightly closer to the camera genuinely weirdly works better because it's the sleepover mode. It's like they kind of, if everyone's slightly close, it just feels like you're whispering. Anyway,
Yeah.
It's a game that wants to be played in a pillow fort with
Yeah.
like just a very small source of light.
it's like
Yeah.
the game's definitely designed to be played in real life. Is the thing, you know what I mean? It's that kind of like this works fantastically. But like, you really want to play it close and small together, and just so you can see the stuff on the table between you without having to put the pauses. Anyway, that. I'll stop recording and say, but I just want to say, like, specifically the thing I want to point out, everyone's amazing. As players, like I said at buy-in is so important to RPGs. But like in terms of like what people bring and like embracing it, like I'm honored. Anytime I play you lot, I'm honored, and it's a delight. Anyway, I'm going to stop recording now, and hopefully some people will watch this, and if or not, if we don't put it online, because we haven't decided yet. Right, toodles, folks.
Bye.
Oh yeah, say bye. Bye.
Bye.